Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful lacy stitch crochet blouse. This design is light, airy, elegant and perfect for warm weather. The best part is that it is an easy, quick and budget friendly project that does not require a lot of yarn. Whether you are a beginner looking for a simple garment project or an experienced crocheter searching for a stylish handmade blouse, this tutorial is perfect for you. The blouse features a lovely lacy stitch pattern that creates a delicate and feminine look while remaining comfortable and breathable. You can easily customize the length, width and sleeve style to suit your personal preference. The material we are going to use lightweight cotton or cotton blended yarn is preferred. Measuring tape, hook according to your yarn, stitch markers, needle and scissor. Now let's get started and crochet this beautiful lacy stitch blouse together. For this vertical blouse, I started with 224 chain stitches. The foundation chain will determine the total length of the blouse, so you can adjust the number of chains according to your desired length. This panel will form half of the front and half of the back of the blouse. The total length of my panel is 110 centimeter. With 55 centimeter for the front and 55 centimeter for the back. You can easily adjust the chain count to achieve your desired length. For the first row, begin by making 5 chain stitches. Then insert your hook into the 4th chain stitch and work 1 single crochet to create your first arch. This arch consists of 5 chains and 1 single crochet. Continue working in the same manner across the foundation chain. 5 chain, skip 3 chain, work 1 single crochet to form the next arch. Repeat this pattern across the entire row. 5 chain, single crochet in the 4th stitch to form the arch. For this last pattern, 5 arches are required to complete one fan motif. Since I have the total 56 arches, this will give me 10 complete motif fans in the center of the panel, 1 half motif at the beginning of the row, 1 half motif at the end of the row. These half motifs on both sides help create a balanced and symmetrical design, while the 10 complete motifs form the main body of the last pattern. By the end of this row, I will have 56 arches which will form the foundation and base for our beautiful lace design. Make sure all arches are evenly spaced as they will support the lace pattern in the following rows. For row 2, we will repeat the same pattern as in the previous row using 5 chain stitches and 1 single crochet. Work an arch into each arch space across the row. 5 chain, work 1 single crochet in the next arch space. Continue repeating this pattern across the entire row. By the end of the row 2, I will again have 56 arches, just as in the previous row. These arches will provide the foundation for the fan motif that will begin creating in the next row. For row 3, start by making 5 chain stitches, which will count as 1 TR. In the first arch, work 3 treble crochets. Together with the starting chain, this will form a half fan motif at the beginning of the row. Then go to the next arch and knit a single crochet to close the fan. Next, create 3 arches for the spacing between 2 fan motifs. Chain 5, single crochet in the next arch space. Repeat 3 times. Now in the following arch, work 7 treble crochet to form a complete fan motif. Continue repeating this pattern across the row. 3 arches for spacing, 1 complete fan made of 7 treble crochets. Work all the way across until you reach the last arch of the row. In the final arch, work a half fan motif using 3 treble crochets. And then finish the row with 1 treble crochet in the last stitch. At the end of this row, you will have 10 complete fan motif with the half fan motif at the beginning. and another half fan motif at the end, creating a balanced and symmetrical lace design. This is row 4. Work 5 chain stitches, which will count as one treble crochet. In the first half fan, work 3 treble crochets, making one chain stitch between each treble crochet. This will form the half motif at the beginning of the row. Next, work 2 arches between the fan motifs. Chain 5, single crochet in the next arch space. Then chain 5, single crochet in the next arch space. Now in the following fan, work 7 treble crochets, placing one chain stitch between each treble crochet. This will create a beautiful open and lacy fan design. Continue repeating this pattern across the row. 2 arches for spacing, 7 treble crochet with one chain stitch between each stitch. Work across the entire row until you reach the last fan. In the final fan, work the half motif in the same way as the beginning. And finish the row with the treble crochet in the turning chain. At the end of this row, the fan will appear more open and decorative, creating the beautiful lace effect of the blouse. For row 5, 6 chain stitches. This will count as 1 treble crochet and a 2 chain space. Now work 3 treble crochets, making 2 chain stitches between each treble crochet. This will form the half motif at the beginning of the row. Next, work 1 arch between the two motifs. Chain 5, single crochet in the next arch space. Now in the following fan, work 7 treble crochets, making 2 chain stitches between each treble crochet. This creates a more open and airy lace effect. Continue repeating this pattern across the entire row. 1 arch between motif, 7 treble crochet with 2 chain spaces between each stitch. Work across the row until you reach the last fan. In the last fan, work the half motif in the same way as the beginning and finish the row neatly. At the end of this row, the lace pattern will become more open and decorative, giving the blouse its beautiful airy texture. Now we are moving to row 6. 3 chain stitch will count as the first double crochet. Now work into the 2 chain spaces created in the previous row. In each 2 chain space, crochet 5 double crochets. Then work 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Continue your work all the way across. 5 double crochet in 2 chain space. One single crochet in the next stitch. Each fan contains 6 2 chain spaces. So by the end of one fan you will have 6 group of 5 double crochets separated by single crochets. Continue working this pattern across the entire fan. When moving from one fan motif to the next, do not create any extra chain space or gaps between the motif. Continue the pattern directly so that the shell design flows smoothly from one motif to the next. Repeat this pattern across the entire row until you reach the end. At the completion of row 6, the open lace fans will transform into beautiful textured shell motif, giving the blouse a rich and decorative appearance. For row 7, we will return to the arch pattern used in row 1. Begin by making 5 chain stitches, then work 1 single crochet in the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochet group to form an arch. Continue working 5 chain, 1 single crochet in the center stitch of the next 5 double crochet group. Repeat this pattern across the entire row. When you reach the point where two fan motifs meet, join them together by working a single crochet 2 together between the adjacent shell groups. This will keep the motif connected and maintain the shape of the lace pattern. Continue creating arches in the same manner across the row. By the end of the row 7, you will have 56 arches, exactly the same number as in row 1. Preparing the foundation for the next pattern repeat. This completes one full pattern repeat, and from this point onward you can continue repeating row 2 through 7 to extend the panel to your desired size. For row 8, repeat the same pattern as row 2 using 5 chain stitches and 1 single crochet. Create arches across the entire row. Chain 5, work 1 single crochet in the next arch space. Continue repeating this pattern from the beginning to the end of the row. Make sure that each arch is worked evenly to maintain the shape and symmetry of the lace design. By the end of this row, you will once again have 56 arches, which will serve as the foundation for the next row of fan motifs. This row completes the setup for repeating the lace pattern sequence. For row 9, repeat the same pattern as row 3. This time, however, the placement of the fan motifs will be different. The new fans will be worked at the joining points between two fan motifs from the previous repeat. Begin the row with 2 arches, chain 5, single crochet in the next arch space. After these 2 arches, work a complete fan motif using 7 treble crochets. Continue repeating the pattern across the row. 3 arches for space, 1 complete fan of 7 treble crochets. Because the fans are now positioned at the connecting points of the previous motifs, the pattern shifts slightly, creating a beautiful staggered lace effect. By the end of the row, instead of 10 complete fan motifs, you will now have 11 complete fan motifs. The row will finish in the same way it began, with 2 arches at the end of the row, creating a balanced and symmetrical pattern. At this point, I have completed 24 rows, which means I have repeated the lace pattern 4 times. After measuring my work, the panel is now 23 cm wide, which is exactly half of my required width. Since this panel will form half of the blouse, I am satisfied with this measurement. You may need to crochet more or fewer rows depending on your desired size and width. I have completed my second panel with 23 rows. I will join both panels together while working the last row of the second panel. As I complete this final row, I will join 4 flowers on the front side and 4 flowers on the back side of the panel. In the center, I will leave 3 flowers unjoined to form the neckline opening. Lay both panels flat with their right sides facing up. I will begin joining from the middle stitch of the 2 center petals of each matching flower. Work in the 2 chain space. Begin the petal as usual. After completing the first 2 petals, we will start joining the panel from the third petal. For the third petal, work the petal pattern until you have completed 2 double crochets. Now insert your hook from the right side through the corresponding third petal of the first panel. With the hook inserted through both petals, work the third double crochet to join them together. Then complete the remaining 2 double crochets of the petal as usual. This joins the third petal of both panels neatly while maintaining the flower pattern. Repeat the same process for the next petal. Work the first 2 double crochets. Insert the hook through the corresponding petal of the opposite panel. Crochet the next double crochet through both petals. Complete the remaining double crochets. After joining the first motif from the third and fourth petals, complete the last 2 petals of that flower normally. Once the first flower is fully completed, move on to the second floral motif. Work the first 2 petals of the second flower as usual without joining. When you reach the third petal, repeat the same joining method that we used for the first motif. Work the first 2 double crochets of the petal. Insert the hook from the right side through the corresponding petal of the opposite panel. Work the next double crochet through both petals to join them together. Complete the remaining double crochet of the petal. Repeat the same process for the fourth petal. After joining the third and fourth petal, complete the remaining petal of the flower normally. This joining method creates a smooth and decorative seam while preserving the beauty of the lace pattern. I have joined 4 floral motifs for the front section of the blouse. From this point, I am going to leave the next 3 motifs unjoined. These motifs will form the neckline opening, providing a comfortable and well-shaped neck for the blouse. After leaving these 3 motifs free, I will continue my work on this side. This is my neck section. I will continue joining the remaining motif for the back section. Using the same joining method as before, I will join the next 4 corresponding motifs of both panels. Once these 4 motifs are joined, both the front and back shoulder section will be complete and the basic shape of the blouse will be clearly visible. After joining the left and right panels together, the main structure of the blouse is complete. Before moving on to the next step, let's take a quick measurement of the blouse. The finished measurements are: its width is 50 cm, its length is approximately 56 cm. These measurements are suitable for my desired size and fit. Now we are going to move on to the finishing steps of the blouse. To create the sleeves, I have placed a stitch marker on both sides of the blouse to mark the sleeve openings. Before joining the sides, I measure the sleeve depth, which is 21 cm in my case. Once the sleeve opening have been marked, I will join the front and back panel together below the stitch marker. Using a yarn needle or your preferred joining method, stitch the side seams neatly from the bottom edge of the blouse up to the stitch marker. Repeat the same process on the other side. After completing both side seams, I will now start working on the sleeves. Join the yarn at the underarm area. For the sleeves, I will use the same lace pattern that I used for the blouse panel so that the design remains consistent throughout the garment. In the first row, create the arches and begin working around the sleeve opening. I will crochet one complete motif on the sleeve, This will give the sleeve a delicate and elegant finish while maintaining the airy look of the blouse. Simply repeat the same pattern sequence that we used for the body. In the first row, we will create arches all around the sleeve opening. In the second row, work 3 arches. Then crochet 1 fan motif. This time the fan will be positioned in the opposite direction of the previous fan on the body section. Continue repeating the pattern around the sleeve. 3 arches and 1 fan motif. Work all the way around the sleeve opening, placing each fan in the opposite direction of the previous fan on the body section. I will crochet 1 complete motif on the sleeve. You can make your sleeves longer by adding more pattern repeats or keep them short and lightweight by working just 1 motif as I have done. Once the first sleeve is complete, repeat the same process on the second sleeve to ensure both sleeves match perfectly. Now I am going to work on the bottom edge of the blouse. For this finishing round, I am going to keep it simple and neat by working only single crochet stitches all around the body edge. Join the yarn at any point along the bottom edge of the blouse and begin crocheting. Work 3 single crochet in each space. Maintain an even stitch count to keep the edge smooth and flat. Continue working single crochets evenly all the way around the body edge. When you reach the starting point, join with slip stitch to complete the round. This simple single crochet border gives the blouse a clean and polished finish while allowing the lace pattern to remain the main focus of the design. You can add additional rounds or decorative edging if desired, but I prefer this simple finish for the lightweight summer blouse. This completes our crochet summer top tutorial. I hope this step-by-step guide was helpful and that you are happy with your finished blouse. I hope you enjoyed making this project with me and found the tutorial easy to follow. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your crochet friends and subscribe to my channel for more crochet tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. May your stitches be even, your yarn never tangle, and your creativity continue to grow. See you in the next tutorial. Happy crocheting!